recipe required, and today we're going to do another meal kit review for you. This one from HelloFresh. First time I've done a meal from HelloFresh, and this one here, check it out. We're going to do some pork Carnitas tacos. Hope they're good. It's one of my favorite meals to make. The box came the other day, packed on ice. Had this nice little bag. This is all of our like produce and other ingredients. The meat came packed separately on ice. This is ground pork. We're going to go ahead, we're going to unpack everything, we're going to cook it up. Recipe says it's going to take about 40 minutes or so. We'll certainly time it. We'll see how easy it is, see how hard it is, see if there's any trips or traps or anything like that. But at the end, we're going to see how it tastes. For me, that's the most important thing. I want to know whether this is good, whether this is bad, whether I recommend it or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so let's start prepping our veggies for our for our Carnitas tacos. First thing we're going to do is quick red onion. Red onion looks okay. There's a little dent in this one, but not a huge deal. Won't affect the flavor. I'm not going to show you all the chopping, but essentially one of these we're going to dice finely. So you go through like that, and then do like this, and create these fine little dice. We'll put them over there. The other one, those are going to go into the taco mix itself. The other, you're going to slice the long way, and essentially nice and thin, and get these julienne strips of onion that we're going to pickle. I'm going to throw those into the bowl. Here, I'm going to come back and finish the onion off camera. Then, so onion is going in. Then we've got a poblano pepper that we're going to core and dice. Now, I like to do this by going to the top, cutting around the top, cutting around the stem, and then if you're lucky, you get a big chunk of seeds like that, and it's pretty clean. This, by the way, is my trash bowl. I'm going to go ahead and dice this up now if there's still a little bit of seed, a little bit of rib, but we're going to go through and dice this into, I think it's at 1/2-inch pieces, which is about that big, and drop those in a bowl. Again, I'm going to finish those off camera. Our tomato, they send a nice little Roma tomato here. It says core and dice the tomato. So take off the top and the bottom. To core it, you want to go slice down the middle, and then essentially this is the core. You want to just do a quick V cut. So in at an angle, in at an angle, and that comes right out. You can also get rid of the seeds by just running your thumb through it, and then give the tomato a dice like that. That was onion. We'll throw our tomato in there. Again, finish that off camera. Cilantro, one of my favorite herbs. This one has a good amount of stem still left on the leaves. I'm not going to use the stems, so I'm going to take those. We'll just discard the stems. I want to give the cilantro just a rough chop. Set that aside. And then our last bit of prep is a lime. To get more juice out of the lime, just give it a little rub like that on the cutting board. And then we go directions say cut it in half. And then take half of it and cut it into wedges. These wedges are going to be served with the tacos. And that's our prep work. I'm going to finish this up off camera, then we're going to come back and start cooking. Alright guys, so next step is to pickle our sliced red onion. HelloFresh sent a nice little, cute little bottle of white wine vinegar. We're going to go in right over the onions. A little bit of sugar, 2 teaspoons. They did not provide the sugar, they did not provide the salt. Sugar, salt, and then there was something else. A little splash of water to help everything dissolve. I'm just going to get in there with my hand. You could certainly get in there with tongs, but you want to break those onions up, get them nice and exposed to the liquid, and make sure that salt and the sugar dissolves. You can do this ahead, throw it in the fridge, and it'll all be good, or you can just set it aside like I'm going to do. Once we get this done, we're going to come back and turn the stove on and start cooking. Alright, so we're ready to start with our filling, our pork filling for our tacos. It says get a pan going over medium heat, little drizzle of olive oil in that pan. You want to get the bottom coated. And then this is our package of pork, which I probably should have unpackaged before I turned the camera on, but we'll work it out. So we're going to go ahead and take that, lay it in. Should hear, yep, a little bit of sizzling. We're going to use a wooden spoon to break up the pork. You don't want it cooking like a hamburger, right? You want it cooking, kind of loose chunks. So every once in a while, I'm just going to get in here, break it up. And we're going to come back, probably it says 4 or 5 minutes until everything is brown. All right, my pork is about halfway cooked or so. You're definitely getting some brown sparks on it. And it does say season with salt and pepper, which is a really good, really important tip from HelloFresh. You want to make sure you season as you go. So this is probably just going to take, it's probably been about 2 minutes. Probably going to take another 2 minutes or so. We're going to get it totally cooked through. And then remove it from the pan and then put some veggies in. Okay guys, so our pork is now fully cooked through. We got little brown bits on the edges. So I'm just gonna quickly turn the heat down. We're gonna come back to the same pan. And we're setting the pork aside and we're gonna cook the veggies. This is the same technique I use when I'm making my own tacos, is go ahead and cook the meat. Then we're gonna go ahead and cook our veggies. It says add another drizzle of olive oil right to that same pan, and I've got our poblano peppers and our onions all queued up to go. I turn the heat down. I'm going to turn it back up to that medium high. I'm going to season these with a little bit of salt and pepper and then toss them every 30 seconds, minute or so, for about 5 or 6 minutes until the vegetables soften up. Alright, so our veggies have gone for about 5 minutes or so. They are softened. They still have some texture, some firmness to them. The edge of my pan is getting a little bit brown, which is nice. That's going to be added flavor. You don't want it to burn though, so you've got to be a little mindful of it. It says to add back our cooked pork. Add in our fajita spice. This is a package that came from HelloFresh. Smells like chili powder, some cumin in there for sure. This is a chicken stock concentrate that we're going to add in as well. You get all that yumminess in there. They sent a whole can of tomato paste here. It says add 1 tablespoon in there. That's a generous tablespoon. I think this is extra. They just sent more than you need. And then it said add a couple tablespoons of water. I'm just going to turn the heat down a touch. And the idea is, that liquid now in there is going to help lift up any of those brown bits that are on the plate. The flavoring is obviously going to give it flavor. You just want to mix everything in and let it cook for 2 or 3 minutes. Don't take the water amount as gospel. If you need to add a little bit more, go ahead and add a little bit more if it's looking too dry. This is looking pretty good now. It may dry out over the next few minutes, so I may add a little bit more. But so far, so good. I'm just going to let this, I'm going to put it on low so it doesn't scorch or burn. And then we're going to go make a little sour cream mixture to put on our tacos. Alright, so as our pork finishes cooking, we're going to go ahead and make what I would call a crema. This is sour cream in a little package from Hello Chef. Let's try and get it all in there. It says go ahead, sour cream, add a little bit of lime juice. All this is going to be to taste, so I suggest adding just a little bit and then coming back. This is a package of chipotle powder, which we're adding to the sour cream as well. And then I think I left my water behind me. It said add a little bit of water, and essentially this is going to be a sauce that we throw on our tacos. We're going to mix it together. It says, go to the drizzly consistency. I think that we could use a little bit more water. You can also put this in a little plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag, cut off the tip and use it as a little piping bag. I think this is good. Might add a touch more. I'm going to add a touch more lime juice, give it some more punch, and since I like heat, you add chipotle. That was a lot. That's going to be a hot taco. You add it to taste. So This one is now going to be a nice little hot sauce, but it's cool with me. Let's go ahead. I think we're good to go. Let's go taste the pork, and we might be ready to plate it up. All right, guys. So our pork has been cooking since well, since we left you, and I made that sour cream. Go ahead. I'm going to give the meat a little taste, and just make sure the seasoning is on. I'm going to use a little more salt, a little bit more pepper, and we are good to go. Just mix that in. I'm going to go ahead and let's go assemble our tacos. Alright, so right before serving, you go ahead and take your tortillas. They sent 6. This is supposed to be for 2 portions. Microwave them for about 30 seconds. Then we've got our carnitas filling here. It's okay if a little spills like I just did. I'm going to go ahead and do these 3 tacos. It looks like, you know, there's probably enough for 6 full tacos. If you're massive eaters, you know, you might go a little bit light and get 5 of them. There's got some Monterey Jack cheese I'm going to top our tacos with. I'm going to save a little bit of cheese for the wife, why not? Then we've got some cheese on there. We've got our tomato that we chopped up earlier. Spread that out. Trying to get it, you know, relatively even. And then we've got our pickled red onions. You know, this kind of stuff is actually one of my favorites. It adds like so much flavor and bite to the tacos that I really like that technique. We're going to throw a few on there. Serve them with the lime wedges across. And then we've got our chipotle sauce as well. I'm going to go ahead and drizzle that on there as well. Mine's a little thick. Maybe thin it out just a touch. But we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead, snap a photo or 2, and then we're going to give these guys a taste. Alright, so I've got my tacos ready to go. We're going to go ahead and give it a taste. I'm a lime fan, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lime right on there. I also, I forgot to tell you to put the little cilantro that we did before over it. It makes a nice garnish, and it adds another little pop of flavor, a little freshness there. Thumbs up. So, I'm a sucker for tacos. I absolutely love them. These ones are awfully darn good. Took me about 45 minutes to make them. The meat, the meat tastes good. That flavor packet, actually, the fajita spice gave a lot to it. I definitely put a good amount of that chipotle and the sour cream, and the heat is coming through. And the onions, I love those pickled onions as well. So, you know, for me, this was easy enough. Tastes really good. Plenty of food. Actually, I plated all 6. There's plenty of meat in here for 6 portions. Or sorry, 6 tacos, 2 portions I would call. So, HelloFresh, first time for me was a winner. I'm giving it a thumbs up. Give it a try. I'm going to put a coupon code in the link if I can get one. And I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. Alright, so that was HelloFresh Carnitas pork tacos. Actually, pretty damn delicious recipe. I like to make it. It took me about 40-45 minutes or so. And the flavors were really good. The fresh ingredients, nice and fresh. Lots of flavor from the spice packet, the heat, and the lime all came together nicely. Go ahead, give it a try. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.